This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you with food prices and gas prices on the rise. What is being done about it? I'll let you know which states are giving out different stimulus money, up to $750 in 3 different states. Another city is giving out $1,000 per month as a universal basic income program, and the application dates have just been announced. Also, we'll talk about what is being done about the gas prices to bring those down, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the daily, straight-to-the-point updates. Let's get into it. So, stimulus update, an important inflation update comes out this week. So, on October 13th, also serves as the day when the COLA announcement is going to be made. We are going to find out the latest CPI. So, CPI hasn't really been too good lately, still on the rise. It went down a little bit, but this number is going to determine a lot of different things. If the CPI shows an uptick in inflation for September, there's a good chance the Fed will respond with yet another aggressive rate hike, and that could make life even more difficult for cash-strapped consumers who are being forced to rely on credit cards these days. On the other hand, if the CPI shows that inflation levels were lower in September than in August, the Fed may not feel compelled to implement as harsh a rate during its next meeting, and that could give borrowers a bit of relief. So depending on this number, also we're going to figure out what the COLA number is going to be too on October 13th. So we'll see what happens with that. According to experts and economists, it seems that inflation may be going down a little bit, but it's not really going to be a big significant 1 point drop or 1% drop. It's probably going to still be around 8%. That's what they're saying. Life is getting more expensive by the day. Amid inflation, 32% of Americans are struggling to pay their bills, and that's probably just who they surveyed. I would imagine it's a lot higher than that. The rising cost of living is causing more consumers to fall behind on their monthly bills. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you falling behind on your monthly bills? Is it getting a lot harder than it has been over the past few months or even few years? Let me know your thoughts. What's your economic situation here? So, 32% of adults have paid a bill late in the past 6 months, according to a recent report by LendingTree, and 61% of them said it's because they didn't have the money on hand to cover the cost. About 40% said they are less able to afford their bills compared with 1 year ago, according to the report, and most said they fell behind on utility bill, credit card payment, or cable or internet bill. Let me know your thoughts on that. One person said here, life is getting more expensive by the day, and it's shrinking Americans' already tiny financial margin for error down to zero. Yeah, everything is just getting way too expensive. So the CPI right now, or the inflation rate, 8.3% for August is what it was. We'll find out to September in just a couple days. And then food inflation has soared in the U.S., and now farmers are planting wheat in the most expensive harvest ever. So, drought, high costs, and logistics are creating a worrisome time for farmers and consumers. It's causing the perfect storm here, just about when a recession is going to happen, if it's not happening already. Food prices are about to get even higher. So on Monday, benchmark wheat prices spiked to a 2-week high of $9.42 a bushel. As Russian Ukrainian cities are battling it out, the prices of wheat is going up as well, because all those exports from Ukraine are not getting out as they were before. So yeah, it's going to be really high over the next year in terms of wheat prices, so bread prices, anything else related to that. Also, they use wheat to feed other animals too. So yeah, prices going up with that. Speaking of farms and stuff, coronavirus stimulus checks to farm workers. USDA selects 15 organizations to administer FFWR program. So these were the checks mentioned a while back. I already thought these were going out, but they're supposed to go out to farm workers and food workers. And these were like the $600 checks, or yeah, $700 million for $600 checks. I thought these were going out, but all they're doing now is they're just announcing different programs that are going to distribute it. But I thought this was like done like 6 months ago. But anyway, that's that article. And then student loan forgiveness. No student loan debt relief coming before October 23rd, according to the White House. So in response to lawsuits from Republican-led states seeking to halt the plan, the Biden administration offered new details about the timeline and implementation. So, in October 7th filing, which came in response to GOP-led lawsuits seeking the halt of President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, the White House said the Department of Education will not discharge any student loan under the debt relief plan before October 23rd. So, Nancy Pelosi said that the student loan forgiveness is not possible through executive action, as President Biden is doing, because the president does not have power over the purse, which I kind of thought was the case. The announcement came out. A bunch of people who had student loans were really excited about it. People who didn't have student loans were really upset about it. So it looks like there could be a chance that maybe it doesn't happen at all. We're going to find out probably by October 23rd with all these lawsuits mounting against President Biden. We'll see what happens if he has the ability to actually do this. If he doesn't, it's going to be a disaster because the Democrats plan to do that right before the midterm elections. So if it doesn't happen and the promise isn't fulfilled, not looking too good for the blue states or, for Congress and all of that. Let me know your thoughts there. And then when it comes to child tax credit 2022, huge direct payments up to $750 already going out to families. So basically talking about 3 different states here. Connecticut, if you're in Connecticut, you're now able to claim a tax rebate of $250 per child, maximum of 3 children. And for child tax credit, Rhode Island families, similar, $250 per child, maximum of 3, so that's $750 for 3 kids. And then New York, that is any kid age 4 to 17, you're able to get a $270 credit there. So those are the child tax credits, although I think a lot more should be done for the other categories like Social Security recipients, SSI, SSDI, veterans. There's still a lot of people who aren't getting as much stimulus attention. Seems like families are getting the most nowadays. Then Denver set to give 140 homeless people up to $12,000 in cash as part of basic income programs. So this is going on in the state, Denver, Colorado, $2 million going to give out $1,000 per month, which is $12,000 for the year. And applications for that start November 3rd. Then, when it comes to gas prices spike just in time for fall break. Yeah, gas prices are about to hit over $4 a gallon on average. Of course, it's less here in South Carolina. It's more in California, depending on where you live. But talking about the national average, could be over $4 a gallon. Take a look at the Republican perspective on all this.
Rick Perry joins us now. Very good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us on this. Everybody wants those prices to come down. It inflicts a lot of pain on the American consumer. American small businesses are reeling because of this as well. So what is your take? Is this the administration's fault why we continue to see sky-high gas and oil prices?
Yeah, well, happy Columbus Day, Sandra, and it's a privilege to be with you. Under, let's say, austere conditions in the country because of policies that this administration's been involved with, particularly the oil and gas industry. They started sending a message on day one. We're going to try to bring the fossil fuel industry to its knees. And they basically are doing a pretty good job of that. They're overtaxing, over-regulating, over-litigating. And if you want less of something, that's how you do it. You go in and government overtaxes, over-regulates, over-litigates. And that's what this Biden administration is doing. Shutting down pipelines, not allowing the offshore drilling, not allowing federal leases. All of that collectively sends a message to the companies, whether they're small independents or whether they're the big oil and gas companies, that you better be really careful if you're going to go expend monies to explore for and deliver oil to the refineries. And as a matter of fact, I think we're about 1 million barrels less refining in the U.S. Since the Biden administration took over. So all of that together, Sandra, sends a clear message that a lot of this recession that's happening is driven by the cost of energy. And America was independent for the first time in 67 years in 2019, because of the policies that President Trump put into place, we were producing, we were doing a great job, we were working with our foreign partners, and the supply of energy around the world was in a lot better place. Europe is going to pay a huge price for their decisions about doing away with fossil fuels.
So let me ask you about how we can fix this problem, because I mean this question needs to be put to Republicans who could regain control of the House and or the Senate in the fall. So they're promising they can bring those prices down. What do you do about it? If that refining capacity is offline to the degree that you just described, and there's solid evidence of that, well, does pumping more oil help, or buying more oil help, or releasing more from the reserves help if we can't refine it into gasoline?
Well, and I think sending messages, if you want more of something, you incentivize it. It's that simple. This governing is not rocket science. And so the point is, when the Republicans come into place, they need to use every tool that they have to be able to send the message to the fossil fuel industry. And also at the same time, and this is a little longer range process, but send the message to the small modular reactor industry out there that has the potential to really do some good things. It's going to take a while for that technology to get into place, but it'll be faster than you realize. So fossil fuels, small modular reactors, those together can send the message around the world that America is going to get back into the energy business in a big way.
Secretary, final question for you. There seems to be still blame putting on the oil companies themselves, even in some cases, the mom and pop gas stations in this country, and warnings to them not to price gouge. You heard it from the president during the storm and the aftermath of the storm. You hear it from Gavin Newsom out there in California. And in my research today, I was surprised to see a White House pool report from you several years ago, 2017, I believe. And you, too, during Tropical Storm Harvey, made a similar warning to not price gouge at the fuel pumps in the wake of the storm. Yeah. Why put those warnings out there if there's not a lot of evidence that that's actually happening? Have you seen that happening? What rendered that warning then? Because we're getting a lot more of those now. And
during hurricanes, we always send that message out there that if you're thinking about, just because of the supply and demand issue, this is not the time to do it. And I think it's always been, from my perspective, a message that gets sent during hurricanes. But that's not what this administration is doing. This administration is doing it to try to cover up for bad policies that they put into place. There is no doubt that this administration wants to force Americans to quit using fossil fuels and go to wind and solar to power their grid. And it's just not going to happen. You've got to have fossil fuels and nuclear power to be the base load for your electric grids. And this administration would rather play politics and blame everybody in the world instead of looking in the mirror and going, you know what? We were wrong.
Well, it's just the lower income, hardworking Americans who are paying the price for it. That is for sure. And those prices are on the way back up. Oil closing above $90 a barrel yet again today. Secretary, great to see you.
What are your thoughts on that? And I'm curious what you think. If the Republicans were in control, would it be different? Would there be lower gas prices compared to the Democrats having control over this? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is a tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing when you feel sad, you have to do something that you really want to make you feel better or make you feel true. Or you can also, if you help somebody, then you'll feel even better or something. Or if something's really into you and you're really feeling good, you should do that as well. Bye, this is Bella. This was the tip of the day.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. So all is good with us. Tuesday is the big day. We got piano, we got swim, we got dance, we got other classes as well, homeschool class, virtual class. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on Tuesdays. And hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos, my other channels, click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.